Hello and welcome to another tutorial. Today we are going to draw this simple illustration with cat sitting on a windowsill. Let's start. I'm going to draw this on the square canvas from Procreate. You can download the same color palette I will be using, link will be in the description. And first we are going to do the sketch. For that we can pick any color. I'm going to pick this pink one here. And now I'm going to pick the brush. I will be using 6B pencil. The brush size I'm using is 27%. So let's start drawing a window shape, like this. And I'm going to move it a little bit higher on my canvas. Now let's draw the windowsill. And here we're going to draw the cat. Start with a shape like this, kind of an oval that is a little bit bigger on the bottom. And now here on top, draw a circle. Let's draw two kind of sausage shapes like this for his legs. Now a tail. And let's draw some ears on the sides of the head. Let's try to find the middle of the head and draw two arcs like this. Now a little bit lower, let's draw a simple nose and mouth. And now two eyes. Just simple dots. And of course whiskers. Now if you want, you can also add some spots on his body. I'm going to do one on the left and one on the right side, and then some stripes on his tail. Now let's draw simple shapes of the clouds, something like this. And one more here. And the sketch is finished. Now let's maybe use the arrow tool, and we can still make it larger and move it to the middle of the canvas. You should have your snapping turned on, and this way it will catch to the middle of the canvas, like that. Okay, let's stop here to finish. And now we can start drawing an outline. Let's open the layers, and first let's turn on the opacity of this layer. So tap here on this N letter, and now swipe this to the left. I'm going to make it 39%. Now let's create a new layer, and let's place it under the layer of the sketch. The color I'm going to use for my outline is this first one here. And the brush I will be using is in calligraphy and it's monoline. We are going to draw the window first, and to make this nice and symmetrical, let's turn on the symmetry tool. Let's go to Actions menu. Now Canvas, and here turn on Drawing Guide. Now tap here on Edit Drawing Guide, and at the bottom turn on Symmetry. In the options, make sure you have vertical option selected. Let's tap on Done, and now we can draw our window. The brush size I'm going to use for my outline is 13%. I'm going to tap here on this plus to add this to the brush sizes, and I'm just going to take this one away. So let's start drawing the window with a straight line here like this. Hold your pencil on the screen to make this line straight, and now if you put your finger down here, it will make this line vertical. Now let's draw an arc here on top, finish at the symmetry line, and also you can hold your pencil there to make this arc nicer. And now you can use this option here, Edit Shape, and you can move those points and adjust them. When you finish, tap with your finger on the screen. Now let's draw a line here at the bottom. And also use here your finger to make this line horizontal. And now draw one line vertical. and one more horizontal. And now the window seal is finished. Now let's open the layers, and we can tap here and turn off the drawing assist. And also let's go to the actions menu and turn off the drawing guide. Now let's create a new layer, and we are going to draw outline for the clouds here. I'm going to have separate layers for outlines for window, clouds and cat. So I'm just drawing over the clouds shapes that I drew, and I'm using here the quick shape tool, so I'm just holding my pencil down the screen to make straight lines and make arcs. Okay, the clouds are finished. So now let's do another layer for the cat. Just simply go over your sketch. Let's draw nose and mouth and eyes and whiskers. And then the rest of the details we are just going to use colors for it, not an outline. To draw the eyes, I'm going to make the brush size bigger. Let's make it 50%. And now just stamp the eyes like that. Okay, now we are ready to color this. First let's turn off the sketch layer, we don't need to see this anymore. So just tap here. And now we're going to color the window. To do that, let's tap on the layer of the window outline and tap again and pick here reference. Now let's make a new layer and move this under the layer with the window outline. Now this will work like a coloring book. We can color using the lines on our reference layer. So let's take this color here, this orange one, and we can just move it inside the window. Now let's take the next color, the pink one. And let's change the brush. Let's go to airbrushing and pick soft brush. The brush size I'm going to use is 15%. And I'm going to add this color. But before that, let's open the layers and turn this layer into alpha lock. This way we are going to be drawing only on the area we already colored there. Let's draw on top here and fade it away going to the bottom. Just like that. Now let's take another color, this purple one, and draw with it on top. This way we're going to get a nice shading here. Okay, now we're going to color the window seal, and to do that we have to turn off the alpha lock on this layer. So let's tap here and just turn it off. And now let's take the color, this one, and let's just drag it in there. Okay, now it's time to add some stars to the sky. Let's create a new layer for this. Let's tap on it and set it to clipping mask. Now let's take the color, this one. And here I'm going to be using one of my brushes. It's in my stamps brush set. The brush I'm using is Starry Sky Less Stars. And the brush size I'm going to use is 56%. If you're interested in those brushes, link will be in the description. Now I'm going to turn on the brush size. Let's make it 20%. And I'm drawing some more stars. And now I'm just tapping a few more stars like that. Okay, now I'm going to add the moon. Let's make a new layer for this. And I'm going to use here my stamp with the moon. And the brush size will be 7%. And I'm just stamping the moon here. I did it especially on a separate layer, so now I can make this moon shine. Let's go to adjustments and pick bloom. Now swipe your pencil on the screen to add the bloom size. And here at the bottom you can change the other options. You can use your own settings or use mine. And they are like this. Main slide is 40%, transition is 80%, size 42 and burn 99. Let's tap here to finish. And now we can color the clouds. To do that, first we have to turn off the reference on the layer number 2. So on the window. Let's tap here and turn it off. And now we have to turn on the reference on layer of the clouds. So tap here and pick reference. So now we have to make a new layer and let's move it under the layer of the clouds. Let's change the color. Let's pick the white color here like this and just color the clouds inside. Now we're going to add some more color to those clouds. Let's open the layers and set this layer to alpha lock. Let's change the color. Let's pick this blue one. Now the brush we're going to use here is soft brush. And the brush size is 5%. Let's color the bottom of the clouds very lightly like this. And now we're going to change the color to the purple one. And we can color the bottom of the clouds, like this. Okay, now it's time to color the cat. So let's open the layers and turn off the reference from the layer number 3. And now we have to set this layer to the reference. So the layer of the cat's outline. And now let's create a new layer and move it underneath it. Let's change the color. Let's pick this one. And color the cat inside. Now for the ears, let's pick this pink one. Okay, now we're going to change the color to this brown one. And we are going to turn back on our sketch layer. So we can see our details we drew on the cat. And now let's tap on the cat's layer here and pick alpha lock. Let's change the brush back to monoline. And the brush size, let's make it 13, so our saved size. Let's draw those brown spots on the cat. Now let's make the brush bigger, maybe 67%, and we can draw stripes on the tail. I see a mid-hair spot by mistake, so I'm quickly going back to the white color and I'm going to paint over it. Okay, now back to brown color and I can color my brown spots. I'm making the brush size 26 now. And now I'm using the maximum size of the brush to color the head. Okay, now I decided to add some stripes on his head. So let's change the color. Let's go to this light color here. And with the brush size 64, I'm drawing 3 stripes on top of his head. Now we can turn off that sketch, we don't need it anymore. And we can add some blush to the cat. We are going to draw it on the same layer. Let's change the color to that pink one. And the brush we're going to use here is soft brush, and my size will be 3%. And I'm turning down the opacity to 68%. I'm just drawing simple circles like this. Okay, we're going to add some shadow to the cat. So let's create a new layer for this and set it to clipping mask. And now the color here will be this blue one. Let's change the brush back to monoline. Let's make the brush size maximum. And we have to color the whole cat with this color. So I'm going to outline it and just drop the color inside there. Okay, so this is the shadow on the cat. And let's open the layers and tap on this end letter here. And we can turn down the opacity of this layer. I'm going to make it 24%. And here, unfortunately, I forgot to change the blending mode. You should set this one to multiply. It will look nicer than just normal blending mode. So please do that. And now we can use the eraser tool. Let's tap on it again and set it to calligraphy. And the brush size I'm going to use here is 80%. And I'm just going to erase the parts that are still in the light. So just here on the sides like that. Okay, so now this looks like there's some light on the cat on the sides coming from the moon. And I decided to change the layers opacity here. I'm going to make it 16%. And as you can see, I still haven't noticed here that I forgot to put the blending mode to multiply. So I hope you will not forget to do that. And now I'm going to make a new layer to draw some more light on the parts that are not in a shadow. So let's set this to clipping mask. And let's use the color, this one. And the brush I'm going to use here is the soft brush. This way we're going to get a nice and soft light. And the brush size is 3% and brush opacity is 100%. So now I'm just drawing some light on the edges of the cat, like that. Okay, and now let's open the layers and let's change the blending mode of this layer to add. Let's turn down the opacity of this layer, let's set it to 42%. And now for the end we can change the background color. So let's tap here and then pick this color here. And this is finished. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and please, if you would like to show me your illustration, tag me on Instagram, I would love to see it. Thank you for watching and see you in my next video. Bye!